to my channel. And if you're new to my channel, I'm Patty, and on Mondays I make gnomes and characters, and on Thursdays I do home decor. Today I got 3 super easy, budget-friendly fall pieces I'd like to share with you. One of them is inspired by a Pottery Barn piece. If you want to know how to make them, stick around. I'll show you how. Okay, for this one, you're going to need 2 of the Dollar Tree little trucks. You're going to need 8 of the little Jenga blocks, and you're going to need a little plank, and that comes in a 5-pack. First, we're going to start by adding E6000 glue to each one of our little wood planks and some hot glue, and we are going to attach these to the bottom edge of our truck. And you can do that for both of them. Just make sure that you do use the E6000 glue with the hot glue because it will work a lot better. And then we're going to come back in a second and add 4 more of the Jenga blocks because it just wasn't stable enough with just the 2. So just come back in and glue those right over the top of the ones that you just put on there. And then be sure and use the hot glue too so it stays in place until that glue dries. Okay, next I'm going to take some Folkart cottage white paint, and I'm going to paint the inside and the outside of both of my trucks. On this step, don't use the wood glue like I'm using in the video. Just use the E6000 glue in combination with hot glue, and it will hold up really well. So skip the wood glue, and then just go ahead and put your plank on both sides, kind of center them, and then let them dry. Okay, this next step, I just came back in with the some little circles just to cover up the wheels. I just put the black circle for the tire and then the little hubcap in the middle. And just do that on both sides. It just kind of finished out the truck a little bit better. Okay, next I'm going to take my styrofoam, and I'm just coming up to the very bottom edge of where the bed of the truck is. And I'm going to go ahead and slice that off so you don't see that from the side. And then skip this part. I was going a different direction on this and changed my mind. Just go ahead and leave that as one piece. Then I'm going to take some white craft foam, and I'm going to just put it on the side so you don't see the green from where the opening in that truck is. So once you get that glued into the bottom here, then go ahead and put your white pieces in and just trim them out to the top edge of where the bed would stop. And just attach that with a little hot glue. And then do the same thing for the other side. Okay, next I'm taking a piece of white craft foam. I'm just going to cut it to the width of my between my 2 trucks, and I'm just going to lay it on top there and roll it under to the front. So I'm just covering up the cab area. Just go ahead and glue that in, and then just wrap it under on the bottom just to kind of trim it out. Okay, next I just took farm fresh pumpkins and cut it out with my Cricut, and I'll give you the link to that in the description below. And I just put it on both sides. Okay, next I'm coming in with some burlap, and I'm just cutting it the same size as the opening with a little bit of hangover on both sides. I'm just going to fold it over and glue it, and I'm just kind of making this so that you don't see any of the green from the sides once you get all your flowers in there. So just go ahead and hem up one side of it. The other side was already hemmed from the fabric. If it wasn't, then you probably need to go ahead and hem up both sides. Now, when you glue this in, we're going to go ahead and glue the front too. When you glue this in, just glue it down the side. Otherwise, you're not going to get your flowers in there. So don't glue the whole thing down. Just glue down on one side, because you want your stems to still go right through this fabric. And then we're just going to wrap it around the bottom and trim it off. And then go ahead and add just a little bit of glue across the top edge. This just gives it a nice finished touch when you get all your flowers in. If anybody were to come up to it and look at it, you wouldn't see any of the green. Okay, next I'm just going to start attaching my flowers. I'm just taking a bunch of the greenery. I got it at the Dollar Tree, and got some of it Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to randomly put it in there. The pumpkins I got at Dollar Tree, and some of them didn't have a stem on them, so I'm adding just a piece of floral wire in there just to put them in here. So just kind of decorate this however you want to. I just randomly put my flowers in there until I got it as full as I wanted it. I just think it looks really good if you really fill it up. And then I added a little bit of greenery in there as well, just to kind of give it a little finished touch. Okay, and there you have it. It turned out really super cute. I was really happy with this one. Okay, for this one, I'm using a bundle of leaves I got at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to completely separate them into single leaves. And for this project, you're going to need about 50 leaves. So if you don't use this bundle, you can find just whatever you want to find. There's some at Dollar Tree, but you are going to need 50. Okay, then I'm going to sort them by size. And this one had 3 different sizes. And I'm going to save my bigger leaves for a different project. Then I'm going to sort them into 4 different sections because I'm going to paint them in 4 different colors. I'm using metallic paints. I'm going to use a rose gold, a champagne gold, a copper, and then a Java metallic paint. And most of these are Folkart, and some of them are Art Deco, but you can get those at Hobby Lobby. Just get them all painted, and make sure that you use 4 different colors because it really did make this wreath look pretty. This is a Pottery Barn inspired project, and it really turned out beautiful. Okay, and this one is the copper color. And you can just tell how pretty these colors are just straight out of the little bottle. And this one actually is called Rich Espresso. I said Java a little bit earlier, but this is actually called Rich Espresso. Okay, next I'm just going to take some brown paint, and I'm just going to squirt some water in it just to kind of thin it out. And I'm just going to kind of brush around the edges of the leaves. This really doesn't take that much time. I know it looks like it does, but it does give it a more realistic look. Next, I'm taking a Dollar Tree wreath form, and I cut the 2 center circles out and only using the outer circles. And then I'm attaching some jute so I can hang this when I get done. Okay, start attaching your leaves, just alternating your colors. And when you're attaching them, go under the leaf that you just put on. And you're only going to be able to see maybe the bottom part of the leaf. You want it pretty full. And then whatever order that you start in, go ahead and continue in that same order with each of the 4 colors until you have it completely filled in. Okay, when I get to the end, I still had some leaves left over, so I'm just going to kind of put them in the wreath with other colors that match them, and just to kind of use them up and fill it in. This project really didn't take that long for what you end up with. This wreath actually turned out absolutely beautiful. I hope that y'all make one of these. Okay, this is our third project. What we're going to do is we're going to start by covering our workstation with some press and seal. And you're going to need 5 1x2 pieces of wood, and you can get those at Lowe's and Hobby Lobby, and they will cut these for you. And I've cut these into 14-inch strips. I'm just going to take wood glue and I'm going to attach all of them together. And go ahead, and if you have clamps, go ahead and clamp them, because it will look a lot better if you don't have spaces between your wood in the middle. And just keep going until you have all 5 of them put together. And go ahead and sand it, because you want to make sure you get all the glue off of it, because glue will not stain. So you want to make sure you get it all off of there. Next, I'm just going to use a rag, and I'm going to start applying my stain. I'm just going to rub it on. And as it absorbs into the wood, you can add more to get it as dark as you want. Okay, once you get it to the color that you want, just go ahead and set it aside to dry. We're going to go ahead and paint our leaves. And these are the bigger leaves that were left over from the second project. I'm going to paint this first one a royal ruby metallic paint. And try not to paint the stem, just paint the leaf itself. And then I'm going to paint the next one a champagne gold. And then I'm going to paint the next one it's called Radiant Copper. And these 3 colors really go well together. Okay, next I'm going to take the word fall, and I'm going to go ahead and paint it with that same Radiant Copper color. Just make sure you get the tops and the sides all the way around them. The board's dry. I'm going to go ahead and add the letters to the bottom, and just kind of make sure that you get them straight and spaced out, kind of evenly. You can eyeball this one pretty easy. Okay, next I'm just going to start attaching my leaves. And I'm just going to start stacking them on top of each other. And then I kind of pulled them down to space them out a little bit, because they were a little bit high. Okay, then I'm coming in with some jute, and I'm just going to wrap this around the top 4 times, and then I'm just going to tie it off in a knot. Okay, then I'm going to add some antique furniture tacks to each of the top corners. Just kind of push them in there with your hand, and then go back in there and hammer them in a minute. Just kind of figure out exactly where you want them, and then I just went back in and hammered mine in. Okay, this was a pretty easy project. This one was. It really turned out beautiful. I was really happy with this. Okay, overall, that was 3 pretty easy projects for fall. If you liked the video, hit like. If you want to see future videos, hit subscribe. And if you want to be notified when I have another video out, hit the bell. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it.